The MLS 2025 summer transfer window is here. Who's buying, who's selling, and who needs to get the hell out? We are going to talk about all of those topics on today's video. If you guys are brand new to Wake Up MLS, my name is Jose. I'm the primary host of this channel, this show, and I am not alone for today's video. All right, I got a round table of co-hosts here with me to help me discuss, debate, banter, everything summer 2025 transfer window related. Again, around MLS, it's a big summer. We're going to be there before you know it. We're in the middle of MLS All-Star Week. A lot going on. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right in. I'm going to tee up my co-hosts now, give them a quick intro, and then we'll get right into the topics for today's video. All right, first and foremost, we got my boy Hector from Insert Name FC. Hector, welcome in, man. Welcome back. We got John from Loud and Proud Orlando, back on the show as always. Davi from the Blue Burrows Pod. These are all familiar faces. You've seen them on Wake Up MLS before. And then back by popular demand, we got Ananda and we got Rob from La Cuna Galaxiana, our fellow LA Galaxy fans. I think last time you saw them on the channel, Galaxy was in a different state than they are today. I can say that confidently. But with that said, Rob, Ananda, it's been a while. Ooh. How we doing, man? How we doing?
Good to be back, Jose. Thanks for inviting us, dude. I wish it was in better circumstances in terms of the Galaxy. I think less said about the Galaxy, the better. I mean, there's nothing to really talk about transfer-wise anyways. We've kind of hit the max in terms of all the premium slots and the GAM and jam and thank you, ma'am, and all that good stuff. So, yep. I think, but anyways, man, no, good to be back and happy to be part of this panel. This should be fun.
Hell yeah.
It is definitely good to be back. And I have to push back a little bit on Anna. There's a couple of things that maybe you haven't considered there in Galaxylandia that could make for, maybe one or two moves. Who knows? Maybe we'll get there. Maybe we won't. Yeah. Who knows?
We'll see, man. We'll see. And look, nothing is off the table for today. Whether we feel like our teams can actually make realistic moves in the summer window or not, something to keep in mind as you guys are watching at home, every one of these MLS fans in this panel today, as far as I know, there aren't any major transfer rumors linked with any one of our clubs, right? Whether it be Dallas, Galaxy, Houston, Orlando, NYCFC, I think maybe has a little bit more going on than the rest of us. But there are some pretty big rumors circulating outside of the clubs that we all support. And we're going to talk about it today. Where I really want to start, just to jump right in and get right to it, are teams in the league first. Before we get to players and like irrespective of the teams we see them going to and having that conversation, let's kick it off with the clubs, the teams specifically that we feel like need to be doing business this window, whether it's due to where they sit in the table today, the fact that maybe they never do business and they need to start leveling the personnel up regardless, and anything in between. All right, guys. So look, I have my own takes for teams. And I've shared some of this pre-show with some of you guys in terms of teams that I think should be very active, should be looking at options in the window. But I'm going to kick things off, and I'm going to start with our resident Houston correspondent, Hector. How we feeling, man? Regardless of how you feel about Houston, bro, teams that must be active in this upcoming summer window. Who you got?
It's my championship DVD team, Cashville, baby.
Cashville, I like it.
Look, I know they're second place in the Eastern Conference right now, and that's all fine and dandy. But we need to get greedy, Cashville. We're Cashville for a reason, baby. We need to get greedy, add more firepower. Let's get this team dangerous. Let's make a strong push in the second half of the season. Yes, I'm saying we, John.
Hold on. Does no one in here believe in Sam Surridge? I feel like...
Oh, no, I believe in Sam Surridge. I'm just saying, let's get more power in here. Let's get.
Well, what does that mean? Like, are we thinking like, hey, they need more offensive pieces? Do we feel like Nashville is realistically, if they level up this summer... I mean, the question I have just hearing you say that is like, could they be a truly elite team in this league? I feel like people don't consider them elite.
No, mainly because of Surge, but I believe in Surge, but I just want them to get a little bit tougher when it comes down, especially in those dog days, especially in the playoffs. You need to get a little extra oomph, and I think whether it's on the back line or maybe looking for a 6 or an 8, something there to make this team even more potent than they already are right now.
Jose, you don't believe in Tyler Boyd, ex-Galaxy player, coming back in a couple of months?
Do you believe in Tyler?
I'm saying that facetiously. Oh, he was great for us, but he came and went. So
yeah, but he wasn't there that long, was he?
A year. just a season. Yeah,
it's tough.
I'm being sarcastic.
I'm about to say, like, that's tough, bro. It's tough. I was like, but I don't know. I feel like, well, first off, John has publicly not been a fan of Sam Surridge, so I called that out. I actually think he's actually a pretty damn good player from my perspective, but he could use some help. He could very much use some help. I like that shout. Anybody got anybody different than Nashville? Kind of curious. Before
I guess I'll go because I'm looking at this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Rob. If you want to go. I think he's on.
No, go ahead, Bob. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm going to speak. I said I wasn't going to talk about the Galaxy too much, but I will in this instance because, and I speak from experience, guys. So last year, the Galaxy came into this position sometime in the July in Leagues Cup, and the Galaxy were first in the Western Conference last year. And they decided to pull the trigger and sign Marco Reus. And ultimately, look, it was it was a move that put us in an interesting situation this year, but it showed to at least Galaxy fans that we're going to push all our chips in the middle of the table and take the risk to secure a really, really good chance at winning MLS Cup. And lo and behold, it did, right? So I'm looking at the teams that are in the top, let's say the top 4 of each conference to say, is there a team that just really needs to make that move and push all their chips in the table? And right now, for me, the Western Conference is a wide open conference. There's not one dominant team right now in the West. All the good teams right now, in my opinion, are in the East. So, man, Jose, I'm looking at San Diego, bro. I'm looking at our neighbors down the I-5. I'm looking at San Diego, and I'm saying this is a very similar, by the way, to the 23 St. Louis City SC team. Very, very similar trajectory, right? Now the question is, can they surpass what St. Louis did, not only getting the first seed, but getting through the first round of MLS Cup? And so I look at their loss of Milan Ilovsky, which, by the way, is a huge loss for them.
Huge loss.
And I think that's, if I'm San Diego and I'm that front office, we've got an amazing player, an MVP candidate in Anders Dreyer, an amazing player in Chucky Lozano, a revelation in midfield in Anibal Godoy, right, who's been spectacular this season. I saw it firsthand, man. He's a spectacular player. And I'm saying, okay, is there an attacking signing that can secure that number 1 seed? And hopefully, why not go for MLS Cup, right? Western Conference is wide open. And then you take your chances to see who comes out of the East. So if I'm San Diego, man, I'm pushing all of my chips in the table, just like the Galaxy did in 2024.
That's interesting. I actually like that shout a lot. I'm kind of curious as to what the ceiling of this San Diego team really is. I actually think they're better. I'll be honest. I think the 2023 St. Louis City SC team was.
Agreed.
I don't want to say beginner's luck. That's a really cheap shot to take at a team, but it felt like they had a crazy run of form. They slowed down quite a bit heading into the end of the season, and then it all fizzled out in the worst way possible against.
And they didn't have a player like Anders Dreyer. Anders Dreyer is a quality player, man, in this league.
How long does he stay with San Diego if he keeps playing like this?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know,
man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he I don't know. I am a big fan of Dreyer. I think he's not going to be in this league for very long, though. I think it might feel like a Cucho Hernandez stint, right? Where he comes for maybe a few seasons, and then he's headed right back to Europe potentially. Just he feels like he's too good for this league, in my opinion. So, all right, man. Rob, you're about to tee one up for us. Give it to me. What do you got?
Well, I'm gonna focus. It's funny because Ananda went for San Diego, so I'm gonna go for a team that's just underneath them, and then a couple teams towards the bottom of the league table there in the West, right? So obviously Vancouver. In the past couple of days, we've learned that Pedro Vite is off to Mexico. Good luck, paisano. Yep. Get in the bag. I love it. But anyway, that leaves a big playmaking hole in Vancouver's middle. And Vita's not only just a playmaker with good vision and an eye for goal, he actually puts in a lot of work in that midfield, does a lot of dirty work, and kind of plugs the hole when others are going forward. So he's got good positional sense as well. They're going to need it. They're going to need to replace him. It's simple, right? And it's going to be hard to replace a player with that kind of skill set. But what they can replace him with is a number 10, because Ryan Gauld, who's, their DP number 10, has been out for a cool minute now. So can you rely on this player right now? No, you cannot. So you got to replace basically 2 playmakers. You got to pick up at least one, right? So that's mine at the top of the table. They're holding pace with San Diego right now. They're just a point behind. If they want to keeping on with pace, they got to get that playmaker. Towards the bottom, you have San Jose and Austin at 8 and 9 in the table at 30 points with Austin, 29 for San Jose. And it's interesting because we're going to talk about both these teams, and both these teams need a number 10 as well. At the beginning of the season, Ananda and I had our mates from We Are Austin TV on, and we were asking them about Austin's lack of a number 10, and they said that they weren't worried about it because they would get the production through committee, right? Through they would all the midfielders combined would get that production and creativity to get that ball forward and spread out. It hasn't happened, right? So they need that number 10. It never really happened in the Rusi, so they actually need that number 10 now. Same with San Jose. They need that number 10 to go ahead and start feeding that beast Arango, right? That man has goals in him. I mean, sometimes he can even just play make for himself, but if he has a quality number 10 around him to set him up, to set Joseph Martinez up, to play make off of Cristian Espinosa, I mean, you got some bad men over there, man. They're at 8 and 9, and then of course LAFC's at 5. They need a center back now that Aaron Long is out. As we saw with Eddie Segura over the weekend, I do not think that he's the guy for the starting position long term for them.
Yeah, I agree. You know, it's kind of crazy. Well, one, that Austin not needing a 10 shout, that it'll get done by committee is crazy. But I then, hindsight's also 2020, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend like we all knew that they needed
that.
Yeah, we've done it plenty of times on this show. Plenty of times on this show. It's so evident, right? You almost wonder.
They're going to blame Estevez.
Yeah, bro. I mean, that's another thing too. It's another layer to this, right? Is I feel like Austin, they could add a 10. I still wonder if it's enough to combat the tactics that Nico Estevez has implemented. Being a Dallas fan, I still get PTSD from his 3-year stint in Dallas. It was tough. Nico Balls is very difficult to endure, especially if you're, I don't know, maybe you're a fan of other leagues around the world, other players around the world. To go from watching that on any given Saturday to watching Nico Ball at the end of the day is tough, bro. I've been there. It's a tough Saturday. Put all that aside. No one has said Inter Miami yet, bro. Not one person. It's kind of crazy. I don't know how to.
I'll get to Inter Miami for sure. I mean, but everybody knows where their holes are. I mean, they're Messi dependent. They're slow. I mean, they're adding a big piece, and yes, this guy, Rodrigo De Paul, but I mean, they need speed on the wings. They need a reliable center back. I mean, where does it end? I mean, and they need a striker. I mean, pobrecito el pistolero.
Yeah,
look, man. Rodrigo De Paul is like a red card waiting to happen. So I mean, how available is he going to be?
But bro, why is this the piece they add? This is the only part I don't get.
It's because he's Messi's boy. That's it.
For sure. Does he not have friends who are defenders? Like, I don't understand. Like, does he not have
the bodyguard? The bodyguard isn't allowed to be on the pitch, so might as well get his other bodyguard.
Bro, there's 18-year-olds back there because they have nobody.
He already signed all his friends who are defenders. He ran out of them.
Nah, that's not true.
He signed the goalkeeper. He signed the goalkeeper's friend. He signed Alba. He's like, they're all defenders. They're all his friends.
I mean,
you can put Busquets at center back.
Can't forget about Maxi Falcon.
So. Bro, I'm just saying, like they need this. Not the De Paul. Sure, he can be like a little bit of a wall in front of the defense. I actually came into this video thinking Miami still needs signings, despite the fact that they went out and got RDP. Like, this is cool, fine, whatever.
They need a center back, but they can't have any more. I mean,
they're out here playing career mode, bro.
They're out here playing career mode, and then they type in a cheat code and just add another $1 million. Like, this is. Look,
for those who are novice about it at home, elaborate on that point you just made, the $1 million.
All right. Well, here's the thing, right? He's not okay. So when you go to the actual wages, he's only going to be paid some of his wages on the books for MLS, but they're just going to pay more transfer fee to Atletico, and Atletico is going to give him that money. So he is still being paid more money. So it's a little bit shady. It's a loophole, and I think a lot of the other people around the league are like, can you do this? Technically, yes, but are you still paying him more than he is getting paid per this wage cap? Also, yes.
Do you think any team will look at this as a precedent being set and try to do the same thing?
I mean,
Any
that's
major
what
market?
Absolutely.
Tom Boga and
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
else is talking about. Like all the
Oh,
other, CEOs, all the other directors are all looking at this now. Like, hey, can we do this? I mean, loans are not a new thing, but paying some of their wages in the transfer fee, that. But also, you have to remember, this is like a messy deal, right? De Paul is not coming for any other MLS team. He is only coming to play with Messi. So I don't think you could get this deal unless you're Inter Miami for this level of player. You could do something equivalent with a lesser player, but for this level of player, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering what happens when Messi leaves and what precedent gets set. Go back to just all the major markets being truly major markets and the biggest movers of fandom in the league across the board. Who could get away with a move like this? I feel like Galaxy could get away with a move like this. I like LAFC could. I feel like the New York teams are tough, man. It really is. But I think even in a world with Miami post Messi, they get away with this potentially if they have the money for it.
NYCFC should.
We should, but I mean, here's the thing. David Lee's actually doing business this window, which I don't know. That's a fucking miracle in itself.
Like,
I don't know what CEO in Manchester chewed him out. He's like, if you don't fucking do business in this window, you're fired. Which is
Fair.
Finally,
I'm just
somebody
if
either
Savinho
spoke
just
up.
out of nowhere, where's a New York City FC kid out of nowhere? I wouldn't be mad. A little bit. I'll still be mad, somewhat mad, but it's Citigroup. Use the advantage.
Exactly. We're connected to City. We're connected to the City Football Group, and we let fucking De Bruyne walk to fucking Napoli for free.
Yeah, what a deal!
Free.
What a deal, man. I still think. Look, again, Miami. I still think has an opportunity to make some moves happen, especially with how this RDP deal went through. I think if they absolutely needed a defender tomorrow, like their front office would find a way to work with Garber and MLS to get it done. I really feel that way, and I think they should. This sounds weird, probably to you guys, for me saying this because I've been a big hater of how Miami operates, but. Bro, if they're going to let you bend the rules, you might as well get as close to breaking them as you possibly can. Like, you might as well. Yeah, what's the saying?
They probably broke it already.
They'll win it, and then we won't know anyway till years after. Even if they do come out, just like what happened with Matuidi, we didn't know till later they were breaking the rules. So, slap me later after we win the whole thing. Whatever.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I don't go as far as taking a cup away, so fuck it. I mean,
I
would.
Will Kuntz is brilliant, man. I mean, he worked for the league. I mean, he knows the rules inside and out, and so you better believe this man is finding every which way. He's like, oh, okay, cool. We're letting people bend the rules like this now. Okay, cool. Let's find other creative ways to get business done. And like I said, the man's brilliant. He's going to find them.
And if he could,
LA has the market.
Yeah, and if he could find them, Ananda, Rob, is there a player that like Galaxy could realistically go out and get potentially? That you would have your eye on, that fills a gap, that honestly you look at it and it's like, I don't know how they did that. I don't know how they did that.
There's a handsome Frenchman in Madrid that I'm thinking about.
Could you imagine? That'd be crazy. But there's got to be something, right? Like as an example, right? Go out and get like a Casemiro from United or like something like that, right? Where you bring a player with that much name recognition to MLS, despite the fact that we know Galaxy have basically filled every spot on the books. There really isn't anywhere they could have a ton of leeway.
I mean, Rob, we already have a German, so I want to get another German. Thomas Muller's out there, maybe.
That's him, right. That's right.
Yeah, he might join the people across the city.
True, but I'm gonna go another way, right? Thomas Muller, he's on the other side of 30.
It's not what we need, though.
Exactly. That's not what the project that Will Kuntz and Greg Vanney have been building, right? But they need a reliable striker. Right now, Matheus Nascimento is in development. Christian Ramirez has a couple of goals, but it looks like Greg Vanney wants to bring him off the bench more than anything. You have quality out there even right now, free agents. I mean, you have Premier League proven goal scorer Dominic Calvert-Lewin out there just chilling. Ooh. Right? So, he's the kind of player where if he gets the service, he's got Ricky Puig teeing him up. He's got Josef Painso running off of him, Gabriel Peck combining with him. He's going to bag goals, man. So I mean, that's just one example.
I have a name. I have a name, but it's gonna have to wait till next year because the contract expires 2026. Robert Lewandowski. Why not bring him? Why not bring him over?
Hey, look, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to individual players, irrespective of the clubs that we want them to go to. But before we wrap up this segment, are there any other specific teams that need to be making moves? Again, it could be quite literally anything. Maybe you saw a player like working their way over to this side, whoever it may be. But did anybody have anybody different outside of what was already said?
I would say Seattle, just because of the Club World Cup money.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
The India striker, Charlotte, Austin India striker, they just sold
Dude,
off.
Sounders is actually a great one considering what happened to Morris, considering the AC joint injury,
Right.
and then you even going further back, the ACL injury to Joao Paulo. There's just like a few different big holes they now have to fill, especially considering the fact that, I'll be honest, in my opinion, guys like De La Vega seem kind of like a bust. I don't know. It hasn't really worked out yet.
Fry, like they're gonna have to get a new number one keeper because Fry, I don't
know. Fry still kind of got it to me a little bit,
but with that injury,
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I just think keepers last a long time.
I got a name for that later, Davi. For sure.
Interesting. Guys, in the comments down below, man, seriously, let us know how you feel. Teams, if your team needs to be making moves, drop that team down in the comments. Let you know who you want to sign for that specific club. We'll have the conversation there back and forth 100%. But we mentioned at least 5 or 6 different clubs that need to be making moves. Let us know how you feel about those. I think we're going to continue to see some pretty interesting moves. Again, teeing up for this 2025 summer window. All right, man.
I got 2 more for you, bro.
Go ahead.
I've been playing bingo over here. Y'all have got all of mine apart from 2. All right, so we got Crew, need that number 9. I know they're flirting with this Ali guy, but they need the 9. I know, like, you know, the ball is good.
Bro.
The ball is good with Nancy. Imagine. The ball is good with Nancy, but they need that 9. The other one is Philly because Gazdag made that move to Columbus, and Philly are doing really well this year. They're believing in the ball they're playing, and they're going to take a little bit of a dip. They need rotations. They have a DP spot open. Bring in another attacking DP. Bring in a guy who can score and assist. Kind of like a Gazdag replacement. That's the 2 that I was like, both these teams are up in the East, and if they added one more piece, and both of them have DP slots, so those are my top 2.
I actually want to add on to that Philly point. Ty Baribo's contract's up at the end of the season, and he wants to get DP money. Doesn't look like the club's going to pay him DP money, so he's been linked with Red Bulls and NYCFC in recent times. So I don't know. I don't know if any money. Yeah, I don't know if any of those teams are going to go after Ty Baribo. I mean, directly from Philly, the Philly-New York rivalry. But I mean, who knows? That's something to keep an eye on. Maybe somebody in the league does a cash trade deal with Philly and gets Ty Baribo.
Yeah. I mean, dude, the way Baribo was playing, I mean, he's having a hell of a season, and we talked about this guy before, obviously, but yeah, man, I think if anybody could pick him up realistically, I still I don't see it happening, but realistically, if it was possible, how do you not go for that guy? So, and that kind of tees up our next segment, guys. I want to go and just jump right into it, and how I want to structure this, by the way, is I think looking at this when we think about players that we want to see come to this league to level up MLS, to give it notoriety, validity, insert any adjective that makes this league sound fucking cool. At the end of the day, that's what we're looking for here with the next segment that we're going to talk through, which is the biggest transfer targets for MLS. Now, maybe not any specific club, but specifically the league, who we should be aiming to attract to America heading into a World Cup year, right? Where there's going to be so many eyes on this sport. This is, again, a league that just continues to grow year over year. We've already mentioned some big names that we could see working their way this way, but I think how I want to do this segment, just to keep everything on track, let's each pick one big name player that we can see coming into this league for whatever reason, whether we feel like it's realistic or not. If we don't feel like it's realistic, I'm sure somebody will debate back and forth, but I really want to get a short list of big name targets that MLS should be going after aggressively in some form or fashion this summer. So let's start with John. I'm kind of curious. John was playing bingo over there before. So John, give me one big name, man. One big transfer target. Again, let's pretend you're not an Orlando fan for a second, right? You're just an MLS fan, bro. You just want to see the league bring this player in. Who is that?
I'm gonna go, and this is like, I don't know if this is boring, but this is kind of what's proven to me recently is the best players, in some ways, the most exciting ones to bring to MLS right now are the guys that are in this mid range that come out of certain leagues around the world where they are like the top scorers. For example, like Kevin Denke last year came out of Eredivisie, was one of the top scorers, scored over 20 goals. There's a guy called Sam Stein. He plays for Feyenoord. He scored an insane amount of goals. He is not even that old. He's worth like 16 million euros. He's 23. He's attacking mid. This is the kind of exciting level player that I want to see come in, because I think as much as you can bring in the older European guys, the free agents that will still be good. I think we're getting to the level where we can sign guys for the 10, 15 million, develop them, and then sell them on for 30 plus. And we've had a lot of success with guys out of the Dutch league and being top scorers, like Kuipers, for example, as well, coming into MLS, doing well, scoring goals. And this is like the next guy on that list.
Yeah, I respect that, bro. I respect that. I honestly, a 23-year-old from the Dutch league, I would take in a heartbeat. I really would. I think the Dutch league,
it's not sexy, but it's kind of the thing that MLS teams should be going after. If you want a DP9, this kid would be killer, you know.
Yeah. Who would you compare him to in the league today? I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, I mean, he's more of an attacking mid, but like it's of the ilk of a Denke, or he's coming in with that record from the same league. You would expect him to be able to compete at a similar level. You know, you'd have to pay 15, 20 million to kind of sign him. So I think a lot of the MLS teams now, that's where they're at for their top DPs. And if you sign one who's 23 years old, there's a lot more upside. And some of the MLS teams I know now want to do that. They want to bring in guys where they're young and they can sell them on. We've done it with Facultars recently. I'm sure all of you guys have somebody in your club that you brought in as a DP that's young and you sold them on. And I think it's a good, successful way to not always rely on the aging players, but still get a lot of young, exciting players in this league.
Yeah, bro, I like that take. I love it. I imagine there's no arguments there either, all the way across the board. So with that in mind, Ananda, bro, I'm gonna turn it over to you. I'm kind of curious who your one pick, your one big name target to bring to the league would be.
So I'm going to cheat a little bit, and I have actually two, but they're going to come as a package deal, Jose, and it's maybe not what you're thinking. And I'm going to take off my Galaxy hat off for a second. And Rob, this may be sacrilege. If the Lacuna Galaxiana listeners are listening to this, we may get canceled, but it's okay. And this is something that was brought up actually in the lead up to El Tráfico, and it is the package deal of Heung-min's son and Ange Postecoglou at LAFC.
Bro, imagine.
Oh my God.
But like, that's the thing, right? It seems to just make sense. Like, and I know we're Arsenal fans, so we can banter against the Spuds, but whatever you want to say about Ange Ball, it's exciting. It's high intensity, high pressure. It's something that this league kind of needs. I didn't know anything about San Diego style of play, but once I saw them in person, I'm like, wow, this is a very, very fun team to watch. And I think Ange Ball will bring a level of that to the league. And you throw in a guy, Heung-min's son. I mean, he may be past it, but he's still a very technically gifted player, very good on that wing, still has very good 1v1 ability. And of course, he's Korean. And LA is the perfect market for him in terms of the marketability aspect too, right? So that combination, I would hate it, but for the league, I think it would be really, really interesting to watch.
Yeah, that's actually a very good shout, because there's been so many. I think, was it earlier this month, if not last month, there were several rumors around Heung-min's son potentially eyeing MLS, reports linking him to LAFC with the exit of Giroud. I feel like, I don't know, man. I mean, granted, I'm not a Spurs fan at all, but I feel like this guy would absolutely dominate MLS. Like I feel. Yeah. I mean, even at his age, with where his legs are, right at the end of the day, I just feel like if he were to get. Now, granted, you have to. I'm sure the tacticos of MLS would look at this and be like, "Well, we thought that about Giroud. He couldn't fit into the system. He didn't make sense for what LAFC tries to do offensively." But it's not the same player. It's a completely different dynamic that Heung-min's son offers to that attack. Bro, how would you guys feel? Rob, how would you feel if Ananda's vision came to life? They signed Heung-min's son
We're getting canceled.
and Big Ange. How are we feeling?
Excited for Los Angeles. I mean, it just adds another level to the rivalry. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like this weekend. LAFC played a Galaxy team that is historically bad. So they were expected to beat them, and they didn't, and so that's why Galaxy fans were out there saying, LAFC couldn't beat the worst Galaxy team, right? But by the same token, you want to earn your flowers when your opponent is at its best, right? So if and Greg has said this, Greg Vanny has said this. He wants to go ahead and play against the best teams, whether it be from Liga MX, whether it be from in MLS, and all it means is it adds another layer to the rivalry. And El Tráfico is going to be even better than it was this past weekend.
Yeah, interesting, bro. That's a really good shout, man. I'll be honest. I think like it would be honestly one of the coolest things, and I can only imagine how how you hear those. I don't know if anybody's ever heard the rumors or seen these rumors about Heung-min Son's time with Tottenham and what that's done for like Tottenham's brand awareness back in Korea, right? Which just
Yep.
like his face is literally plastered everywhere. Spurs is everywhere because of him. There's a massive following on that side of the world because of who he is. Could you imagine what MLS would look like if we had just this massive fan base completely overseas? I feel like it feels like, as an FC Dallas fan, it feels like when Martin Paz I think he became a citizen of Indonesia. Now he plays for the Indonesian national team. And I feel like he got voted into MLS All-Star a couple of years ago simply because of this giant Indonesian fan base he has over there. And I don't know, the opportunities seem really, really interesting by kind of bringing a star that big to MLS. I like that one. That's a good shout. That's a good shout.
I think you're also competing with Liga MX because that guy has the key to any city in Mexico, by the way.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. That's a good shout, though. That's a good shout. All right, Hector, anything different?
You know what? I just mentioned Mexico, so I'm gonna say it. It's a repetitive one, but I think seeing Raul Jimenez, I think I firmly do believe that he will be surpassing Chicharito in all-time goal scoring for Mexico, especially as the way he's been playing and performing with Mexico. Also, great comeback story for him, just period. But I think he's a well-performing player. Two, he's Mexican. I think that for me to put him somewhere where it has a strong Mexican market, Chicago, one of the LA teams, deep in the heart of Texas, somewhere
Deep in
around
the heart
there.
of Texas, bro. I take him as in a heartbeat, to be honest.
I think that is it's kind of Carlos Vela type vibes, but I think even more higher.
Yeah.
If you get Raul Jimenez, especially if you get him into the team when he surpasses Chicharito.
Yeah, man. No, I think it's a great shout. How old is Raul Jimenez? 32?
31? 32?
31?
Prime age.
Prime age. Do you think that the MLS
34
haters
guys?
34?
Yeah.
Dang.
So do the haters look at that type of signing and say, "Oh God, retirement league. This is what we've been doing. We're bringing another aging veteran back to this league. Is this what we need?" That's the only, I guess, question mark I kind of think of when I hear that. But with that said, at 34, he's performing, and like nobody can argue that right now. So
absolutely.
kind of crazy.
I mean, I'm sure many El Tri fans thought he was gonna be one of those guys that what would have happened for him. I mean, everyone was ready to give Santiago Jimenez the 9, right? Like they just thought it was just time to move on from Jimenez. He came in and he hasn't let go of that spot since. So I think that it's a player that's found form in the right time.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna kick it over to Rob in just 1 second. Before I do, I wanted to throw a player out there that we haven't talked about yet, and I feel like fans have forgotten about him because he's moved from Europe to play in South America, and there was once upon a time in the rumor mill this player coming to the league or considering coming to the league. It never really happened. And Rob knows who I'm talking about. I think Rob knows who I'm talking about. But guys, I mean, Memphis Depay once upon a time was what
I knew it.
Memphis Depay once upon a time, bro, was linked, man. He was potentially like again when he was on the move from Atleti, trying to figure out what his next move was looking like, lining it up. And I know MLS moves and like other big accounts like that were like trying to force that narrative, and I never really saw it back then. But I think since going to South America, spending a little bit of time with Corinthians, now kind of looking at his next opportunity at 31, 32, something along those lines. I feel like he's right on that line to not yet be considered an aging veteran that would reinforce the retirement league narrative. I feel like he's still a quality, let's call him a center forward. I don't think he's actually a striker. I feel like he's more of like a secondary striker, someone who sits in behind and at the same time, false nine, has great power, good technical skill. I think he's one of the leading goal scorers in Dutch national team history. Memphis Depay, for a lot of reasons, would elevate the status of this league. What do you guys think about this signing? Like, is it still realistic? Could you see him playing here? I'm kind of curious.
Well, I don't think he's going to go to Red Bull because they signed Choupo-Moting to fill that spot. So, but they were linked with Timo Werner. It's kind of collapsed. They couldn't agree on the wages.
Yeah, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I would still sign Depay even if Moting is like the guy in front of him. I think he would overtake him.
I mean, yeah, because don't get me wrong, he's been decent for them, but he's been a bit streaky for them this season so far. Even though he's got, I think, about 13 goals on the season.
Yeah,
But if not Red Bull, then where would be the other location?
LA. It's got to be LA, maybe Miami. Dude. I could see Miami.
Could you imagine Bouanga and Depay? That'd actually be kind of crazy. I don't know. That's provided that Bouanga stays, and we'll talk about that too. I know it's going to come up at some point in the show, so we'll talk about that. We'll have that conversation.
Maybe he goes to Miami. Who knows? Maybe they want to.
Bro, if Miami gets Depay when they still need defenders and like other pieces to add, I feel like they're trolling. I feel like it's like, you know what? We're just
who needs defending when you can score like 7 goals a game?
Yeah, I guess, bro. I don't know. That's wild to me. But yeah, man, that was my shout. I feel like Depay would actually elevate the status of this league. As a Barca fan myself, I'm also an Arsenal fan, but as a Barca fan myself, I feel like he had too much hate at the club. I actually think that there was a dark time at that club, and he filled a need and kind of served for at least a year and a half as like this individual, believe it or not, who was carrying a club that big through some very dark times.
Dude, he was decent. He just got pushed out the door.
Well, not even just that. He was also playing alongside like a bunch of no names. Like, anybody knows what I'm talking about? Go back to 2020, 2021, and that roster, it was crazy. So I feel like he could come to an MLS side who needed a lot of help and still be him. You know what I mean? Find a way to put that attack on his shoulders and find a way to get the job done. So yeah, man, I think really cool to see Depay. Rob, I might have taken your pick. How you feeling?
You did. He was one of two. Like, I was actually going to go with another player from the Brazilian league, from Flamengo, Jordan de Arrascaeta. Had a fantastic Club World Cup. The Uruguayan is 31. He's not on tremendous wages. He's valued around anywhere between 10 and 15 million, so right in the range of ambitious MLS clubs. And he has an eye for goal and for playmaking. We've talked about a couple different teams that need a number 10. This guy is, again, he's Memphis Depay's age. He's 31. He could be looking for his next opportunity. It could be MLS, and who knows? I mean, again, one of the big markets that have a big Brazilian or Latino rather population, Uruguayan population, could be Los Angeles. Who knows? Could be Miami.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll definitely see. Nobody wants Thomas Muller to come. We brought him up earlier. Nobody wants this guy.
I mean, he's kind of past it. He's. I mean,
come on. You don't think so?
I don't think anyone's going to be losing sleep on not signing Thomas Muller to MLS. No offense to Thomas Muller.
Hey, man, he's a space interpreter. That's pretty cool, actually.
Hey, we don't want to see this, though? We don't want to see El Tráfico with these two?
It would be pretty cool, but I don't think anyone's going to lose sleep over not signing Muller.
Nah.
Yeah. I feel like after getting Giroud, this would be the most lukewarm signing of all time. I feel like you go out and get someone who is literally contemplating retiring, actually, and bring him to MLS as the backfill for, the whole narrative around the greatest.
The one thing I would love about if this were to happen is I just want like have them two at each end of some area and have Robert Lewandowski in the middle, and he just has to pick where he wants to go. Does he want to reunite with Mueller or finally reunite with Marco Rose, which would be cool. I think I know Robert Lewandowski, cool name to add another old guy to the list, but see a potential reunion with either Marco Rose or Mueller, I think would be actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so. I think it would be pretty cool. I mean, who would he pick though? Who does he have more loyalty to, Dortmund or Bayern? I don't know. It's a good question. It's a good
Bayern,
question.
probably.
Money.
Money. Can you imagine though? He finds a way to stay on the West Coast, doesn't pick either of those teams, and goes to like San Jose or San Diego. That'd be interesting. Be super interesting.
His loyalty to La Porta.
Yeah, seriously. At this point,
I
to
mean,
Lamine Yamal more than anything else.
I mean, to be fair though, I just looked it up. They're both around the same age, 35, 36. And I mean, Rob can attest to this. Marco Royce has been the Galaxy's best player this year, guys. Like he's actually kind of stood the test of father time this year miraculously, and his knees have been holding up, and he's been very good this year. So Mueller has quality. He's just got to be in the right situation. Like I think the Galaxy is a good situation for Marco. He's got to be in the right situation. If LAFC continues playing a counterattacking style, that is not a good situation for LAFC. But then we don't know who their coach is. So it's TBD. All the stars have to align for that move to kind of make sense.
No, we know who the coach is. It's going to be Peter Vermees.
Oh God, yeah. If Peter Vermees to LAFC happens, how do LAFC fans feel about that? Let's pretend we're in their heads for a second, and I know we're deviating a little bit, but I'm kind of curious how you guys feel about Peter Vermees going to a club like that.
Unanimously, they would not be for it.
I know, it's crazy.
Underwhelming.
Bro. Yeah, very underwhelming. I would tell Peter Vermees to stay the hell away from my club, but that's just me. I think he, take a little more time, bro. Think on it. Maybe wait another year or two. Enjoy vacation. Have a good time. I don't know if MLS misses him as much. All right, man.
He's a rhino.
Yeah. Any other big transfer targets?
I got a sexier one for you.
Yes.
All right. Jack Grealish. The man sells. He sells. Ladies love him.
He was on my short list. You took one of them.
Sorry, man. But dude,
it's crazy.
You're good.
He is either like a New York guy or an LA guy. Like he's a party animal. Dude, I could see him being like, yeah, I want to go to live it up in LA and just, semi-retirement, but also like do a little bit of skills here and there, score some goals. I feel like he could still tear it up in MLS, even though his recent years at Man City haven't been so great, but maybe he just needs to get out of Pep ball, and then he could be the Jack.
It was rumored he was going to go on loan to Everton, but I don't think.
Yeah, I feel like he screams a New York, LA. Like he could be like David Beckham 2.0.
I think the only reason he would come to New York is because Man City gave us a
City group. Yeah,
bro, he needs to go to Atlanta. Let's be honest.
That would be.
He's invited to the cookout.
Atlanta.
He's invited to the cookout, bro. What?
Bro, all we need is Atlanta United to somehow figure out winning an MLS Cup, and I just need images of just him in Magic City with the MLS Cup trophy.
Dude, it's going to be him and Dyla in their fucking underwear on the pitch.
Lemon pepper wet, baby.
Yeah. I mean, he's 29. He's still got some good years, so maybe we can tempt him over. We'll see.
Bro, if Pep ruined that player to the point where he's coming to MLS at this stage of his career, and I'm not saying that MLS is the bottom barrel, but I don't think anybody would see this coming.
Thank you. Now I need Jack Grealish in Atlanta.
Yeah, in Hotlanta? Yeah, bro, 100%. Speaking of which, Atlanta, they are making a signing this summer window, right? It's who did Bogert talk about? It was Steven Alzate, right? Was that the Hull City player they're bringing in?
Yeah.
I don't know much about him, but I think at the end of the day, a Colombian who has European experience coming to this league, I think is super, super interesting. So imagine pairing someone like that with Jack Grealish would be kind of crazy. But dude, that actually is a very, I'm not calling Jack Grealish sexy, but it's a sexy pick. It's a sexy pick. I like that one. I just don't know how realistic it is, bro.
He's very sellable,
Very sellable
guy.
Very sellable. If he comes to MLS, who do you think fans appreciate more, Jack Grealish or Lionel Messi?
Jack Grealish.
I'm old Jack Grealish on that one. But, I mean, I'm the guy sitting here in an England hat, so
yeah,
better.
That's true.
Grealish gives you a different kind of content, and it'll be more engaging.
That's true. That's true.
He is the embodiment of when someone says "act like you've been there," and he's like, "I literally have not."
I literally have not been there. Have not been there, bro. Yeah, it'd be super cool to see if someone like Grealish were to come to MLS. But either way, guys, we threw out a lot of big names. Some of them realistic, some of them maybe a little bit trolly. But either way, let us know in the comments down below how you feel about those. I'm really kind of curious. I think if we left any big names off too, throw those in. Let us know who we might have left out.
I've got one. I've got
Yeah,
one big
Davi,
name.
give it to me. Give it to me.
The Man City captain, Bernardo Silva.
There's no way. There's no way. I don't see it happening.
Maybe
De Bruyne has got a better chance of coming than
maybe,
than,
but
than
I
Silva.
also have another one. He's rumored with 3 teams. Adriano Bertaccini.
Who's
He's
that?
Belgian Italian. 33
Mm.
games played in the Belgian First Division, 21 goals for assists.
Interesting. And Belgian league players, interestingly enough, I don't know if there's like a crazy positive track record in MLS, but I know recently there's some positivity there. Just so you know, the reason I slammed the door shut on the Bernardo Silva take was mainly because of his. It sounds weird to say, but because of his stature, and MLS is a super physical fucking league. Premier League is too. Don't get me wrong, but because of the style in which Man City plays, it shields him from that a little bit. I don't think he gets any of that protection in MLS. I think he gets whacked every single time he gets on the ball. I don't know if he's ready for that at this stage of his career. So, yeah, man, that was the only reason I slammed the door shut on that one. But yeah, guys, either way, at home, let us know how you feel, man. Seriously, those transfer targets that you think are big names should be working their way to MLS to elevate the league all the way around. Let us know anybody that we might have left out. And finally, the last big topic for today, guys, we talked about arrivals. Now we got to talk departures. Who needs to get the hell out? Who needs to move on? Is it an aging veteran? Is it a young player that shows promise that needs to just like spread their wings and fly? I don't know, right? You guys can tell me, but I think that there are more than a few names that need to be looking at exiting the league for one reason or another, and I want to talk about that now for a few minutes. So let's start with Rob. We haven't started with Rob just yet. I'm kind of curious how Rob's feeling about this one. Maybe it's a Galaxy player. Might be a Galaxy player. I don't know. Rob, who needs to leave MLS right now in this window?
Well, interestingly enough, you might have a little bit better insight on this than I do, but I don't think that Lucho Acosta signing has really hit there
God damn it!
in
You took my
Dallas,
pick.
right? So,
Yeah.
and yeah, I'm sorry about it, Davi. But
don't worry
I already
about it.
got scooped today, so it would have been just horrendous if it happened twice in one
Yeah.
day. But yeah, and I mean, he hasn't really been doing the business. I mean, this is not the Lucho Acosta that everybody knew and was clamoring to get, and was getting looked at by Argentina and teams in Argentina and all that kind of stuff. So maybe it is time for him to go elsewhere because it's not happening for him in Dallas.
Yeah. Why do we think that is? And I'll
I
give you
mean,
my take first as the native Dallas fan here. But I think one, I think you're spot on. And I kind of alluded to this, I think, a few weeks ago on this show where I mentioned that Dallas has a Lucho problem. And it wasn't necessarily that he's just, causing problems per se, but he's not, it's very evident he's not anywhere close to being a natural fit for what this team does well, which is all of the dirty work. Like Dallas is a team that doesn't play pretty football. Like we have moments where they combine well and the possession's a little bit there, but for the most part, this is a very blue collar team in the sense that they are high octane, high press from the front. They try to win the ball back as early as they can, but equally, when they do win the ball back, they play a lot in transition. And you don't give players of this caliber, like Lucho Acosta, a great opportunity to get on the ball and dictate what you can do with it, have time on the ball to find your man, to link up, build some chemistry with, in my opinion, superstars like Batar Musa. And now, you pluck him out of that Cincy lineup that seemingly has a ton of control in games. Again, I'm referencing last season and the last few seasons. But now you look at kind of how Dallas plays and what Lucho offers you. Bro, it's kind of crazy. Last 2 games, Lucho Costa did not play at all. Didn't start, but didn't play either. And probably had 2 of the best games in the last month and a half, as far as FC Dallas is considered. And it's because I think, again, right, when you have all 11 players on the field buying into one mentality and one system, everything seems to work great. When you have one very important cog in that wheel that is choosing to walk back or not press as aggressively from the front or take a little bit longer on the ball as opposed to playing a one-time pass over the top to find Musa in transition. All of these things start to add up, and you start to get, you'll have great one-off results, right? Beating Miami away, coming back against Cincy, doing all of those things, but the aggregate result is still negative, right? And that's kind of how I see the whole Lucho Acosta deal. I think, unfortunately, it's going to be another bad piece of business all the way around for Dallas. I think we'll have to let go of him at a fraction of what we bought him for. And that's we're not the only ones that happens to, right? That happens everywhere globally with football. It was a risk. It was a risk that I'm glad our club took, but will likely not pay off. Any additional thoughts there, guys, on Lucho? First of all, this is probably one of the best shouts all video. I fully agree with this take. I think Lucho, honestly, man, if I could get him out in the summer window, I would, but that would be like transfer business suicide, considering they spent what they spent, like 9-10 million less than 6 months ago. So yeah, that would be a terrible, terrible move. But I would honestly put the money aside. I would welcome it.
Do you think that he never really wanted to go to Dallas? Like, he was just trying to leave since he's so bad, he pissed them off so much that he had to make a move then, and really he just wanted to go back to, South America, and it just didn't get the offers, and then he was like, okay, I'm going to settle for Dallas. I just feel like a lot of the conversations and the way he spoke openly at the end of his time at Cincy seemed to me like he was almost done with the league. So I was surprised when he made that Dallas move, and I'm wondering how motivated he is to actually be there.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lucho's a top professional. I think he knows MLS, and personally, whether it was Dallas or anybody else, I think he probably, if the money was there, what he was looking for his family, he would have taken the deal. I really do. I believe that. I don't think he had a preference for Dallas at all, but I also don't think that he heard the offer and was like, no. I think he was ready to leave Cincy, so much so that he latched on to the first serious thing that came along from MLS's perspective. But I do think his preference was go back, right? Go back home. Find a way to kind of land back there, close out the twilight years of your career in style from his perspective, his family's perspective, and just enjoy it, right? But that didn't happen. Dallas came knocking, and then from there, the dominoes kind of fell in place. And this is a signing that I was super excited about because of his quality. But at the same time, man, I mean, we've all seen it, like signings, whether it's in MLS or any other league abroad, they have to work out with the pieces you already have in place. If they don't find a way to gel, it's money wasted. And that's unfortunately what Lucho is looking like right now. He would have to have a crazy U-turn to this season to even feel like it was a worthwhile signing from Dallas's perspective. So yeah, man. I mean, I can be real about that. I watched him playing times live.
This guy also hasn't played in like 3 weeks because he was like punched for tardiness and they didn't play him, and he's just like, all right, fuck this. I'm just not going to play at all.
It's accumulation of things. He wasn't doing the dirty work on the field, and then he showed up a couple different times back to back late, and then from there, it's like he got suspended for too many cards, and it's like it was just step by step. I feel like these are infractions someone makes. Think about like any traditional workplace, right? Mm-hmm. Like when someone just doesn't fucking want to be there, they're gonna act like they don't want to be there, right? And I think that it's not necessarily he doesn't want to be at Dallas. I'm wondering if maybe he's just in his mind outgrown MLS and is now ready for something new and fresh entirely. But yeah, man, I mean, in all honesty, there's probably several other players that were a fraction of his price that I would have looked at over Lucho Acosta, knowing what I know now. I do believe we needed someone of his caliber at the 10 position, but it's looking like he's not the guy. So great shout, Rob. Again, great shout, man.
Do you think he ever plays for the club again?
Yeah, probably. It would be crazy to drop 10 million and just decide after a few incidents that, like, yeah, he's never playing again. And then again, if that is the case, then move him on. If he's never going to play again, get him the hell out. Like, if we lose money, we lose money. It is what it is, right? Like, treat him the way that, like, and this is a crazy far-fetched example, but I'll jab United whenever I can. Treat him like United treated Rashford or Antony or like anybody else, right? Like, you're not going to play him, get him the hell out. By any means necessary. Just get him out. So whatever you can do. That's a fantastic shout. Who's got another one outside of Lucho? I'm kind of curious. How are we feeling about this one?
I got some, but mine are a little meaner.
Spicy.
Mine are more like, if you're the worst in the league, you just need to go. Okay. So I got Giacomo Veroni. Budget DP. A DP who moved for nothing, who is just as bad at Montreal as he is one goal all season, and that's a DP. So no, you got to go. The other, Brad Guzan, sorry, bro, but it's time. Hang up the boots. Call it a
You
day.
think he's done?
No more from Brad. I'm sorry, but that's Atlanta. He has been awful this year, and like it's just sad. Like, dude is 40 years old. I'm sorry. Move on. Like, and the
Yeah.
other one was Kevin Cabral, but I just looked and they already
he's
released
gone.
him.
He's
already
he's
got
gone.
rid of him.
He's already
So,
gone.
Colorado were like, yeah, bro, we know he's gone. So
Yeah.
that's mine because I feel like these are the worst of the worst, and sometimes the level needs to be raised. Right, Atlanta, big ambitions. Maybe don't keep the goalkeeper that you've had for that long, who's 42 years old. I know he's a veteran, but you got to move on at some point.
Yeah. No, I agree, bro. I agree.
He'll always have the Miami playoff game.
True.
Yeah, that bought him another year, like literally.
Bro, it's kind of crazy though that I'm kind of hearing you guys' responses right now. Does nobody feel like Diego Luna should get the hell out?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I felt
Yeah.
like yeah.
He could go to another MLS club and do a lot better than he is.
Well, no, it's not even
one.
that. So my theory with Luna, and I've talked to guys like obviously everyone's pretty familiar that GOLZ TV works with Eric Winalda, and like when Winalda and I talk about this, it's like, the idea that Landon Donovan had around keeping not just Luna in this league, but players like trying to attract players like Christian Pulisic to MLS for whatever reason, maybe to carve out the same path that he carved out for himself as a player in his career. But this idea that MLS is somehow like the perfect environment to get ready for a World Cup, I wholeheartedly disagree. I love this league. I love the teams involved. I tune in every week, but it's just one of those things where if you care about some of these players who I believe are fringe players in the sense that they're at the upper echelon of the league, they have a real opportunity to prove that MLS can develop real talent and to have that talent be relevant in some of the biggest leagues around the world. I think Diego Luna has a real opportunity to prove that. Right. And at a weird age, because isn't he like, what is he, like 23, 24, something along those lines? Right. Like he's like kind of young, but not really. Like approaching his prime, essentially. I think
he's 21.
Oh, okay, he's 21. Okay, perfect. So yeah, kind of slowly starting to approach his prime here. I really feel like with what he knows and about where he sits in Poch's mind for the U.S. men's national team, with what he knows about the level that is going to be required of him to make that World Cup roster, you have to give yourself every opportunity to make that roster. And I don't think he makes it. I don't think he can't make it as a Salt Lake player or an MLS player, but I think if he can give himself an edge before next summer, you do it now. You give yourself every opportunity. You bet on yourself to improve technically, improve mentally, and convince Poch that not only do you deserve to be on that roster, but you deserve to get genuine minutes in that tournament. I think he's outgrown the league. I think Diego Luna is a fantastic player, and I think that he'll prove it.
I think you have an exact. I was gonna go right into saying that as well. I think at this point he got everything that he can from MLS. I mean, obviously we've all heard the story at this point. Like I'm not. We don't need to beat a dead horse over the story again. But
yeah.
I think at this point he's just a big fish in a small pond. I think he got all that he can from Real Salt Lake, but it's time to see him test those waters, go out in a competitive environment. Because going from the guy in Salt Lake to now, hey, you need to fight for your spot. And that spot might be a bench spot. That spot might be maybe you're flirting with that starting position, but he needs to feel that kind of intensity, that kind of competition. I think that could raise his level, and I think that that's a good point. I'll also throw in my guy that I was gonna in here, and that's of course is my boy Jackie McGlynn.
Yeah.
Look,
He was another one I was looking
the
at.
the way things are looking. Also, fringe player as well. You could say for the U.S. men's national team right now, but I think in his situation, I don't know where the Dynamo's going at this point. Like I am just so confused of what exactly are they going to be good? Are they going to be bad? Are they going to be mid? Who knows? But if this window right now, if we don't see any concerns answered for what this attack has for the Dynamo, I think if you're Jack McGlynn, man, look, you got your contract section, that's cool, but if you get a chance to go overseas, man, go overseas. Same thing with Diego Luna. Like I don't feel like he's probably as similar to Diego Luna, where Diego Luna is the guy at his team. Jack McGlynn, he's kind of trying to earn his role as that Ache replacement for the Dynamo. But I think at this point, he's a player that a lot of teams are looking at, and I think at this point, why not get something out of him? If you're the Houston Dynamo, and I think for him, give him his best shot at making the U.S. men's national team for the World Cup.
Yeah, I agree. Same logic, right? I think with those two players. So again, young, promising talent that we've seen perform at the international stage. Now is the time, right, timing wise, to make sure you can actually get in and prove, right, to everybody that you belong at a level that isn't necessarily just MLS, which tends to be the stigma almost anytime you talk to fans who aren't necessarily supporters of Major League Soccer. So yeah, man, again, we'll see kind of how these things shake out. I know Rob had to bounce. Ananda might have had to bounce too. But either way, we got one more really quick sort of hot take bait, if we will, to end the show today, to end the video. I'm kind of curious how you guys are thinking about this specifically. But look, man, I want to end it with a really fun one, a fun little segment. Now we've talked about players that we want to see join the league, players that we want to see get the hell out, and then, of course, teams that we believe should be active all the way around. I'm kind of curious, guys. And again, whatever logic you want to use, Davi, I'm talking to you, bro. Fucking use it. I don't care. Like, again, it could be a fun topic. It can also be a serious one, depending on how you guys want this to all look and feel. And Ananda's back, bro. Perfect. Ananda, we're going to our final topic, our hot take topic, and then we're going to get out of here. The one big name who would flop if they came to Major League Soccer. This is an interesting one, man. And I have a take that I believe is going to piss a lot of people off, but I think that's okay. It's a pretty, I think, contentious topic currently in the transfer market today because his deal specifically is not done yet, which means the door is still technically a little bit open. But I'm kind of curious how we're all feeling about this. Davi, you said you had a pretty good one. I want to start with you first, bro, and then work our way on the table really quick here in a few minutes. What's your one big name who would probably flop if they came to the league?
I actually had the big name. It was Lucho Acosta for the previous one. I haven't thought about the flop yet. So,
all right, I'm gonna give you guys one. I'll give you mine. Just kick things off here. It's kind of crazy, bro. But with everything that's happened in the last couple years, I think there was a real scenario where this player could come to the league. He's a young talent, and I think there was a real chance he could have flopped. I'm gonna say Gio Reyna. I think there's a real world where Gio Reyna could have come to LAFC or insert any big market in the year heading into the World Cup. And I feel like with all of his injury issues, with his mentality and where that might be right now, put the whole difference in level aside, we all know Gio Reyna is honestly, on his day, is a fantastic talent. At one point in his career was considered to be a wonder kid playing in Dortmund. But if you look at the last couple years, and if you kind of put aside all of the opinions from many of the USMNT fans who felt like he was super special at Dortmund, I highly disagree. He was okay. Like he was decent at Dortmund, and he fizzled out quickly because of injuries. I feel like this next stint, if it ends up being in Europe and it doesn't work out, MLS becomes a much more real possibility. And if that doesn't work, bro, there's going to be so much pressure on him to make it work. I don't know if he cracks under it. I'll be honest. I don't. I feel like he could legitimately flop in this league and be forced to come up with very creative solutions as to where he goes next. Some people would feel like that's rock bottom. I somewhat would be inclined to agree. But yeah, man, that's my one hot take. I feel like if you were to,
I think for Gio Reyna, it just comes down with the attitude that he has. If he were to end up coming back to MLS, I feel like it would very much be his attitude. Does he go in thinking like this place is so beneath me, and it also depends on how the MLS team also responds to him. Are you going to give him that star treatment, or hey, you're at the same level as we are? We're kind of that humbling experience for him. Like, can he be humble when he goes into this, if he does go to MLS, or will it be a little spoiled little shit? I mean, let's be honest. It can either go either of those routes. I would love to believe that he would be humble, but then again, I mean, we all saw what happened in 2022.
Alex Hunter journey vibes in FIFA 18.
Yeah, except instead of being linked to Real Madrid, it's Parma.
Facts, exactly. Instead of being linked there at Parma.
Well, we do know one thing for sure. He's definitely not going to the Chicago Fire. That we know for certain.
Yeah, we definitely know that for sure.
I've got
But
That's a crazy shout. That's a
Speaking
crazy
of
shout.
Chicago Fire, I've got it now. Speaking of Chicago Fire, I think Neymar would flop.
You think Neymar would flop if he came to MLS?
Dude, I just think he's too injury prone at this point.
You know what? That's not a bad shout. That's actually not a bad shout. I feel like you guys
And plus, he would miss the opening 3-4 games for his sister's birthday of the season. So
okay,
what
let's
the
put that
fuck
shit
is
aside. But do you guys remember when he moved to PSG from Barca? And it's like he got whacked constantly. Like he was like serially in every single game. People were just trying to take him out every single time. Yeah. And granted, he was also kind of showboating, right? He was trying to basically meg every single player that tried to take him on. But at the same time, like, yeah, with this league being as physical as it is, that's actually not a crazy shout. Davi's had wilder takes on Wake Up MLS for anybody who's watching this for the first time at home. Neymar, okay, I'll take that. Ananda, give me yours, bro.
Well, I was gonna say your earlier shot of Bernardo Silva was interesting, just following down that line of thinking, right, for a second. But I would say to a lesser extent, Jose, when you brought up Gio Reyna, and this is like maybe, like I said, it's a lesser extent, but I think about Matt Turner, man, and he's just absolutely fallen from grace. I remember when he signed at Arsenal, I was like, okay, let's see what this kid's got. He had a few chances, didn't impress, right, in those leagues, in the FA Cup matches, etc. Just very clumsy with the ball. Wasn't a great communicator, at least from what I saw at his time at Arsenal. And I don't know. I think he would have to find the right situation in MLS to revive his career. Like, for example, what Zach Steffen did, right, with his career, going back to MLS. So that could happen, but very easily the other way could go as well. And goalkeepers, anyone that's played goalkeeper can tell you, it's a confidence position. You need touches, you need minutes, you need to be in those games. And he just hasn't had that opportunity. So I think going down that line of thinking with Gio Reyna, to a lesser extent, Matt Turner, Jose.
Dude, that's a fantastic shout. I've actually said so many times, and Hector and I have talked about this before, where it's like I feel like Matt Turner just like lacks so many of the fundamentals. And it's a big reason why since leaving Arsenal is quite literally only been not a snowball effect going downhill, but it feels that way. Like I can't remember a time where anyone said really anything, or not even what people said, but since he's had like a massive performance against a team that was relevant and competitive with whoever he might have been playing for. So the Forest stint was actually one of the worst individual stints from a keeper I've seen in quite some time. Like
I think with Matt Turner too is, the story, his story as well, which was he didn't start playing football, soccer. He didn't start playing that till he got into a later age. And I think now that's starting to show, like he was able to kind of trust his laurels at that time, the extent of what his knowledge was. And once he got put into that European atmosphere, now that he was away from, Bruce Arena over there in New England, he got a taste of, oh, this is actually what goalkeepers are supposed to do.
Yep.
And I think that was the difference at the levels of it. I think New England, he was a stud. Obviously, everyone was talking about all these things about him. But I think as soon as he went to Arsenal, I think he got that reality check that, like, okay, maybe I'm not that great of a goalkeeper as I thought I was.
Yep. 100%.
Well, and let me add on to that too. I think Jose and guys, the one place that he could possibly revive his career, and given the situation right now with Steph Fry, I think Seattle could be a good destination for him. 6-month loan. Let's see what happens. Let's see if they can take us to how far he can take us to MLS Cup. Who knows? But I think that would be a very stable situation for him. Again, depending on what's going on with Steph Fry, because it's kind of unknown at that point, right? With what's going on with him.
I think for sure the well, obviously he's going to be with Leon, but I think it is that he needs, if he comes to MLS, it has to be a spot where they are in dire need of a goalkeeper, and it's like, we're bringing you in, you're our guy, kind of, not, hey, we have this guy and we kind of trust him a little bit more than you. Like that.
He has to start. He needs minutes.
Yeah. Exactly. Agreed. All right. Who else we got left? Who's left?
I got one.
All right. Let's hear it, John.
Rodrigo De Paul.
Dude, that's a crazy shout.
No, I'm kidding. All right, my serious one. I for some reason I think Lautaro Martinez would just really struggle because the Italian thing. I feel like he might come one day and then just not be able to do anything. He's the kind of guy that I could see just struggling in this league.
Gonzalo Higuain.
Yeah, like another Italian comes here and he's like, I can do it.
He won
and
the
it's
World
like,
Cup.
yeah, I mean, we've seen other like Giovinco, right? Was the other side of that, but recently with Bernardeschi and with Insigne, I just feel like the Italians, man, and we've got Muriel who came from the Serie A who's not doing great. So I feel some of these Serie A players come here thinking this is gonna be easy, and it is really not.
Don't forget about Crescito, who just did a douchebag move, just retired. 6 months later, he unretires and goes to Serie B.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like,
that's actually true.
Just stay in Italy and just slowly play less. Play
Just
B and C. Like,
enjoy your pizza, enjoy your
MLS is physical. The Serie A is not like that fast and physical, and I think that's the issue.
I think it's physical. It's not as fast as because a lot of what happens in MLS is just like transition ball back and forth.
Yeah,
and I think like you really have to
not
be
so
like a
defensive.
well-rounded athlete to play in this league. Yeah, that's actually a great shout. I think Lautaro is also a player who just happens to need really fundamentally sound players around him to get the service that he needs and the volume of service that he needs to start bagging goals at a high level. So, and we've seen that in various competitions, either with Inter or even with Argentina, right? Like he just kind of has to have that repeated level of service and volume to get there. Otherwise, the goals just don't come. So, man, these are great shouts, guys. Great shouts all the way around. Seriously, man. I think we had a bunch of great takes for this transfer video. Do we leave anybody out? Everybody got to go for this last little hot take segment. We're all good?
I'll say my guy. So
yeah. Hector, sorry, I forgot about that, bro.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
I love it.
Look,
what are we doing? What are we doing?
I actually do enjoy Cristiano Ronaldo. I just don't think he fits to MLS. That's just me. I just don't think he's gonna gel well with MLS. I'm having my hesitations with Messi as well, even though he's technically performing. But I just think that he's more vocal. He's gonna, he's not Messi who's as reserved. So I feel like Ronaldo, if he feels that there's something that he doesn't like, we're gonna see it in an episode with whatever his name is, the guy that he always interviews with. But
Piers Morgan.
Yeah, there we go. We'll see a Piers Morgan special of him in Kansas City, Missouri, because weirdly enough, that was the team that he was almost linked to. So,
bro, could you imagine Ronaldo? I think I said this before, but imagine Ronaldo like getting on that private jet, landing in Kansas City, and like stepping off the private jet and being like, "What? Where am I, bro?"
Ronaldo Jr. just playing for Sporting Kansas City.
Yeah, like where the hell am I? What is this? Bro, it'd be crazy.
Am I in Missouri or am I in Kansas?
that's the question he asked. That's the important question.
He's in misery.
100%.
That's what he is, misery.
Dude, that's insane, man. Ronaldo did not see that shout coming for this video today, but I'll take it. During MLS All-Star Week, there's no such thing as a bad shout. So I like that. I like that take. Anyway, guys, look, it's a great question to ask, man. Just to think about like who MLS could attract, whether or not they actually be successful in this league. Of course, you can define what success looks like for your respective teams, but I think it's really interesting to have these conversations and really see what the summer transfer window, which tends to be the busiest one, right? We have, of course, the winter transfer window as well. But I feel like it's going to be a big one for the league. I'm hoping that it will be. I'm hoping that whether it's departures or arrivals, we get some big news that just, of course, elevates the status of this league, its reputation globally. Because at some point, bro, Messi's not going to be here, and we can't just hinge every bit of success we could see in this league on Messi's shoulders. Makes no sense at all. So, and look, man, he's not even at the damn All-Star game. So, like, why are we counting on him for the future anyway?
He may be gone sooner rather than later.
Yeah, so. I mean, who knows? RDP is here now, so maybe not. Like his boy is here now. Maybe he'll stick around for a little bit. Who knows? Despite the fact that
I think he sticks around for that first season at Freedom Park, and then he's out.
Yeah,
look, I'm gonna be ostensibly waiting for Tom Booger to announce the contract extension. So don't worry, guys.
Absolutely, bro.
We all thought that KDB was coming, but it's actually RDP that's coming. We got
That's
our
true.
numbers
That's true.
wrong.
He's actually the better one, to be honest. KDB's kind of,
Okay.
kind of overrated.
Okay.
All right, man. We're gonna wrap it up there. Again, guys, thank you so much. If you made it to this part of the video, sincerely, we appreciate all of you. Do me a favor, if you haven't done so already, like the video down below, subscribe to GOLZ TV and to Wake Up MLS. Again, bringing you weekly MLS content. We took not even a hiatus. We took 1 week off last week in terms of the videos that we bring to you every week. We're back. We're here in full force. Some things obviously coming up. We're an all-star week for MLS now. Leagues Cup is right around the corner, but most importantly, the transfer window is basically upon us, and we're going to get to see what this league kind of shakes out to be at the end of it all. So stick around. Let us know how you felt about everything down in the comments below. And again, in the description, I'm going to be linking all of my co-hosts here, Rob included. I know he had to bounce out, but everybody's going to be down below. Go check out their channels, check out their shows. The content's phenomenal. That's why they're here on Wake Up MLS. I want to make sure that everybody gets that love. All right. So from everybody here at GOLZ TV and Wake Up MLS, my name is Jose. That's Hector. That's John. That's Davia. That's Ananda. We'll catch you guys next time.